Okay, we are back live this morning. I apologize for that little technical glitch that we had. I was trying out a new program to kind of better our Member Focus Mondays a little bit, but it looks like I need to do a little more research because you guys weren't hearing any audio. So hopefully everybody can hear me now. And we're going to go ahead and start back up. I know a lot of people are probably joining back on now. And I just double checked and I can hear myself. So I apologize for that again, anybody who was on just a moment ago. Again, I'm trying out a new program and it didn't look like it worked, but it sounds like we have audio now. So anybody who's getting on now, you should all be able to hear me. Okay, so starting back up, today we're talking about the HAR Branded App. Now, this branded app is a Platinum tool, so it's available for Platinum subscribers to use. If you're not a Platinum subscriber, kind of the benefit of seeing it here is that you'll be able to hear about it, see if this is something that interests you, and be able to use it going forward. So we're going to actually start, as you see, I'm signed into the members only portal right now. We're going to start here today, and then we'll move to the app. I want to start here because you can actually manage some things from the app here in the members only portal. So we'll start here and then we'll move to the app, talk about some best practices and tips. There are a lot of members that I've gotten feedback from that love this app, but what I've noticed from the members who haven't used the app, I think it's mainly because they might think it's more difficult to use than it is, or can maybe be afraid of the technology or something like that. So that's what I want to do today, is really just show you how easy this app is to use. So that's what we're going to get into. So we're starting in the members portal again. I'm going to use this quick search to find it. Now, again, the Agent Branded App is actually built into the HAR.com app, but I do have a little bit of a management portal, if you will, here. So I'm just typing the words branded app into the quick search, and I'm going to select that now. And so here I can see my contacts. I can see people that I have invited to the app. I can see people that have accepted it, or if they haven't accepted it, it'll just say the word invited. So it looks like somebody is saying that they still don't have sound. If somebody doesn't mind typing a little message to Amal there to turn up their sound, because everyone else can hear me at this point. So they might just need to click on the video or turn up their sound if somebody doesn't mind sharing that message there for me. Okay, so again, I see the contacts I've invited. I see who's accepted it. I see if they haven't accepted it, it just says invited. I also can see here that one of my contacts created a new search called Westbury. So I can see that there as well. So what this app allows me to do, and again, this is just the management portal for the app, but what this app allows me to do is it allows me to invite people to my app. Now, what they're going to see is they're going to be able to see basically everything they see on HAR.com or in the HAR app, but they'll see additional things that they can't see on regular HAR.com or in the HAR app. For example, they'll see premium data like history reports, or they'll see sold data, which that sold data, as we know, they can't find that anywhere else. They can't find that on any real estate website on HAR.com. They can only really get that from you. So that's the benefit of the app for the consumer. Now on your end, you can see things like this. I can see when my contact creates searches or run searches, or if they bookmark properties or what they viewed. I can see basically everything that they've done in the app there. So it's great because you can see what they're doing in your app, but also they're going to continue to come back to your app because they're getting more information than they can get anywhere else. Okay, so all you really need to do is actually invite people to use your app. So you can do that here in the members only portal. I'm in the branded app section. If you see where it says invite, I can add a new customer, so I can add somebody manually. I can choose from my contact list. So if I'm using the contact list that's available to me on HAR's member only portal, I can use that. I can import from a CSV file, or I can customize an email display name as well. So adding a new customer, I would just manually be adding somebody first and last name, email address and adding them in there. I can also import from a CSV file. This is the benefit of using the management console that they have here built into the member-only portal, because in a moment I'm going to show you how to invite people from the phone, but maybe I have a database of people already that I'd like to invite to my branded app. Well, I can do that using from the CSV file here. So that's a really helpful option to be able to use. Okay, so again, all I did here, I came to the members only portal. I typed in the words branded app into the quick search, and that brought me here to a screen that's going to allow me to invite people into the app. So this is kind of a management console, if you will, for the Agent Branded app. Okay, so now I'm going to actually show you on the app how to utilize that. So now I have the Agent Branded app pulled up here, or actually, I'm sorry, this is just the HAR app. I see, that I'm signed in there. I can see my headshot and my name. It says my branded app. So underneath where it says my name, where it says my branded app, if I tap on my branded app, I'm going to see that same list here. So the same list of contacts that have, accepted my invitation or haven't accepted my invitation, I should be able to see them all here, okay? Now this is going to look a little different if you're on an Android, just a tiny bit different. I'm on an iPhone, but it'll for the most part be very similar, but just looks a tiny bit different on Android. So I see, again, my contacts that accepted my invitation, when they save a search, things like that, I can see my little activity here. Also, if I tap over to where it says list, I can see everybody that I've sent it to, if they've accepted it or not. So I see all of that there. And then, of course, again, I can see their activity. So all I need to do to get people to use this app is just to invite them. So I showed you how to invite them in the management console, but you can also invite them right here from the mobile app. So this is the one place that it does look different for Android. On iPhone, I see new customer in the bottom left-hand corner. And again, I can send them my branded app, I can invite HAR contacts, I can add a new customer, or I can import from my phone address book, okay? If you have Android, you'll actually see a button on the right-hand side of the screen. It's a circle, kind of looks like a little notepad. If you tap on that circle, you'll see the same menu, basically, that I have here. So on an iPhone, you tap new customer. On an Android, you tap that little circle, kind of looks like a notepad. So all I need to do, again, is invite people to use this app. So I'm going to tap import from address book just so you can see that it tries to pull any email addresses that are in my phone. So benefit of doing it on the phone is you have anybody that's stored in your phone. Benefit of doing it in the management console and the members only portal is that you can import from a CSV file. So however you need to import your contacts in, you can do that there. So once I select a contact and I invite them to my branded app, it'll say that new customer records have been added successfully. She's now going to receive an invitation to download my branded app. Okay, and actually if I go to my list now, I see that she's been invited as of today. All right, once she accepts the invitation, I'll be able to see it here in the activity that she's accepted the invitation, and she will start running her searches, and I'll be able to see all of that information here as well. And again, the benefit here is that they're getting more information than they get on HAR.com, on HAR's app. They're getting history reports, they're getting sold data. Again, they can't get that information anywhere but from you. So it's a really great benefit for them and for you, because they're going to continue to come back and use your app well after, because they know they're getting more information. So this is something that I definitely encourage you all to use. Hopefully you can see that this is really easy to use. All you need to do is invite people to use the app. You don't have to go build an app from scratch or anything like that. It's built into the HAR app. All you have to do is hit where it says My Branded App and invite people to use your app. Okay. I love technology tools that make you look really tech savvy when you don't actually have to be very tech savvy. And this is definitely one of them, because again, all I need to do is invite people to use it. So best practice, one thing that I encourage you all to do before you start using this app, before you start inviting people to do it, I would encourage you to go into My Branded App and invite someone that you know really well, that you can take their phone and actually see both sides of it. So maybe your spouse or a friend or a family member or somebody, that invite them so that you can see what it looks like on the client or customer's end, and you can see what it looks like on your end. So you can actually take their phone and favorite properties and things like that, just so you can see both sides of it. And I think by doing that, it really will eliminate any questions or curiosities or nervousness about using this app, because that's what I typically find is agents, they refrain from using it simply because they're afraid of how to use it. They're not really sure what it looks like to the client or customer. And they, don't want to seem foolish in front of that client or customer. So I encourage you all to, again, practice with a friend or family member's phone and your phone so you can see both sides of it, and then start using this app. This is something great that you could be using to capture people's information at open houses, or just really any client or customer that you're already working with. You should definitely invite them to use this app. But of course, we all know that people just like to use har.com and use our app, even if they're just window shopping, right? So I would definitely encourage you to invite all of your contacts, invite everyone to use this app, because you never know when window shopping might turn into something more, right? Okay, so I'm going to scan to look for any questions at this time. I see people saying good morning and happy Monday and hello and all of that stuff. Good morning, everyone. Sorry about that technical glitch we had, but sometimes the technology, you just have to roll with the punches, right? Okay, so I actually don't see any questions, and I think it's kind of speaks to this app. It's pretty clear and easy to use. So hopefully you guys will all start using this Agent Branded app. Of course, if you have questions after today, you can always feel free to send them my way too. Okay, now I see some questions coming up. What contact list, Outlook, Google, etc. So David, the contact list is actually, you can do this a couple ways. Invite HAR contacts. So if you have somebody set up as an HAR contact and not in Matrix, so I see somebody saying, does that sync with Matrix? Not in Matrix, but set up in the HAR contact section. So let me show you where that is. If I go to leads and appointments in the member-only portal, leads and appointments, then I go to my contacts. These are the HAR contacts it's referring to. Okay. Now, the other option we saw, so you're saying, what about Google, Outlook, etc.? The other option we saw was that when I'm in the Agent Branded app, I can import from a CSV file. So if you have people in Google, Outlook, etc., data that you're wanting to invite, export them from Outlook or Google or etc. and import them into here. Okay. Can you text an invite? The system is not set up to allow you to text an invite. It's only done through email. But what a lot of agents have told me they've done, if they prefer to text it, is again, send a practice run, send it to a friend, family member, spouse, whatever the case is, and then you can actually copy and paste that URL that it's going to send you. So basically it'll send that client or customer an email with a URL. So what some agents are doing is they get that URL, save it on their phone, so that way they can text it to somebody instead of having to email it. So yes, Diana, there is a workaround, but the system it's actually set up for email, but you can do text as long as you get that URL. Okay. My branded app screen, everybody's branded app screen is going to look a little bit different simply because of the contacts that we invite, or also the different phone models and things like that. It'll look a tiny bit different, but for the most part, it's all the same app. So again, and I see Selena, you're saying help. Mine looks different than yours. Especially if you're on an Android, I'm on iPhone, so mine looks different from Android as well. If I'm a sales agent, can my broker see my contact list? No, they cannot. Where do I go to do the desktop invite? So the desktop invite, again, that was when I come into the members only portal, type in the words branded app into the quick search, and that's where you'll see where you can invite from the desktop version. Hope is asking about car mode. I can briefly discuss that, Hope, before we wrap up here. Are there plans to be able to sync with Matrix contacts? Yes, great question, Darren. There are plans to do that. It's not something that you can do as of right now, but that is the goal, is to have this eventually sync with your Matrix contacts as well. Yeah, but for now, you would have to export your contacts from Matrix and then import them here. Can I share my app via social media? So you can definitely advertise it, but inviting people, you would need to individually invite people via text or email. You could definitely tell people on social media, though, hey, I have a branded app. Let me know if you want a link to be able to use it. Definitely promote that they have premium content using this app and things like that. But as far as inviting people, you'd need to still invite them individually by email or text. All right, just scanning again to see if there were any other questions. Okay, so Hope asked about car mode. It's not necessarily part of the branded app, but it is a part of the HAR app. So I do want to just briefly discuss it, especially since it is our newest feature. If you're not aware of car mode, it just became available less than 2 weeks ago, really. So when you're in the HAR app, if you have the most updated version, you need to make sure you update your apps. But if you have the most updated version, when you log into the HAR app, you'll see a little car at the top of the screen. So if I tap on that car there, it pulls up car mode, and it's basically going to allow me to drive around. And if I pull up to a property that's currently on the market, it's going to do kind of a voice to text and tell me about that property. So if you haven't seen that, we released a video for it. You can go back and look at that. But yeah, it's just that little car. If you tap it at the top of the screen, you'll see car mode there, and where you can, it'll find where you are basically. Okie doke. So that is it for the Agent Branded app. Again, if you have questions after today, you can always share them my way. One more thing I do want to talk to you guys about really quick before we wrap up is the National Flood Insurance Program. You've probably seen a lot of information about this in your inbox, on social media, kind of splashed around everywhere. The NFIP, National Flood Insurance Program, is set to expire on July 31st. So tomorrow. So if you haven't completed the call to action, the realtor call to action, I encourage you to do so. I will put it up in the comments section as soon as we finish here with the link, so that you can complete the NAR call to action if you haven't done so yet. This is very, very important for everyone to do, because the National Flood Insurance Program affects us all, especially here in Houston, as you know. So if you haven't completed that NAR call to action, I will put the link up, in the comment section for you all to do that. Demetria did ask, where do I go to see if I have the latest HAR update? You would need to go into the App Store or your Google Play Store, depending on if you have iPhone or Android, and just see if the app needs to be updated. Selena asked, do you have to have both a cell number and an email to invite somebody? No, you do not. One or the other will work. All right, so again, thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to complete the NFIP Realtor call to action. I'll put that comment up as soon as we finish here. I hope you all have a great Monday and a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye.